Read on Reddit.
If Andrew Yang wins in 2020, he promises to give every American an extra $1,000 a month to spend. What would you do with an extra $1,000? Regular Riley 141D fix my teeth or piece of shit car. Fuzzera Bebiscuits 141D. He also is for opt-in Medicare for all. Adnan Bakwi 140D, also known as public option to fight price gouging via competition. Unlucky response 141D, pay off my student loans faster and start saving up for my kids. Fuzzera Bebiscuits 140D, he also wants to help reduce student loan debt. https://www.yang2020.com/policies. The Replacer 141D, save it up and go on a vacation. Shanamari 91141D, pay bills and set up a savings account. Mersbommelhorst 141D, save it so that I can have a bit of a safety net when I decide to switch jobs. I am being severely bullied at work by my female boss. I'm female too, but I'm too afraid to leave in case a new job doesn't work out and then I'm in trouble with my mortgage. I don't have a husband or anything to help me, but if I knew that I had a bit of extra time up my sleeve to find that next job and wouldn't fail immediately, I'd leave this job right now. Or maybe I will have to end up spending it on counseling. Probably. I have been crying on and off all week. See Rook 99141D. Okay, I'm not familiar with politics in general, so please go easy. How the fuck is the US supposed to just give $1,000 to every American monthly? That's $327 billion monthly, $3,924 billion annually. That's a lot of goddamn money. UK resident, by the way. Nefnet 141D, this would cover my insulin for the month. Hopefully he could fix the healthcare system too, so I wouldn't have to pay $340 anymore for a $6 vial of insulin. Then I would start saving money and paying down my healthcare debt. Very bad advice 141D. That's why campaign finance reform policies are needed. Currently the government doesn't negotiate with the drug companies to control the price of drugs, and they have monopolies in effect. Andrew Yang proposes that drug companies have to keep their prices in line with international standards, and if they fail to do so, allow competition to come in for their monopolies. Drug companies absolutely would hate such a step, and actively lobby politicians to prevent them from negotiating fairly. https://www.yang2020.com/policies/prescription-drug-costs/ Epicaliver 3141D. Yup. His second biggest proposal is a version of Medicare for all, public option. He also has a 4-step plan to reduce costs. 1 is saying the government will only pay plus 10% the cost of the national average for the medicine. No more. MC. NIGLET 141D. I'd buy car parts. But Asia Spoti 141D, give it back via my student loans. Autochthon 141D, first 10 months. Pay off car. Next 10. Pay off housing. After that, I pay off my student loans as fast as possible to get as much done as possible before he loses his second campaign and whatever guy comes after repeals any changes he managed to actually make. Zabo 63141D. I'll tell you what I'd do. Man. 2 chicks at the same time. Man. Iruda Editor 141D. The best part of that scene is when they cut to Peter and he's laughing it off and it cuts back to Lawrence's face completely serious. Clownfish Soup 141D. I'd put it into my mortgage. You know, I think it would make an interesting 4-year experiment, as long as it wasn't made a permanent thing, just to see how things would work out and to give economists some more data to work with on economic theory. Arianity 141D. As long as it wasn't made a permanent thing. In order to properly understand it, you would probably need to make it at least semi-permanent. A big part of UBI is allowing people to make different life choices, but if it's only 4 years, then no one is going to make assumptions reliant on it being around. Not to say it's worthless, you'd still learn a ton, but it misses a lot of what makes UBI interesting. Matt AO 141D. Think of it this way, if you want to help that person in the community who ends up in the street right now, you really don't have much to offer them besides money. All the wisdom and life advice and compassion means nothing if they can't get resources, but if they are getting money every month, your aid to them via teaching them how to live responsibly can actually take off now. Young Killer 141D keep collecting it to get a very good gaming setup, then I start my gaming channel with good stuff, not with this laptop. The conclusion is that I want my dream to be true. At Pleasident 141D pay off some debts and consider going back to school. Jabedia Johnson 141D let's just say the US just took that 4 trillion and burned it. We would still have a GDP that was 4 trillion more than China's. Except this way we're dumping 4 trillion into the US and world economy. It could be used as needed by people as food stamps or for child care or tuition, or retirement. It could help lift people out of poverty, or create a safety net. It could be an opportunity for Americans to have actual savings. I'm sure a lot of people will go blow that money on stupid shit, but it would likely be better for the US economy if every American was spending that money than a couple billionaires hoarding it in a Swiss bank account. Calacutace 141D yes. A small town of 100,000 population will see $100 million invested in communities with UBI every month. Hefty breakfast 141D. A small town doesn't have 100k people though. Calacutace 141D. Okay lol, then 10,000 people, 1,000 people? That's still $10 million and $1 million respectively, every month. Clunan 87,141D pay my fine for not having insurance, face with cold sweat. Pip Short 141D directly into savings. Maybe the wife and I could afford a down payment for a house in 2020 instead of 2022. Boring response. But I'm not the type of person who would benefit the most from UBI. There are people living in poverty whose lives would be transformed by this kind of support. Deleted. 141D actually be able to live on my fucking own because that literally double my income. Hooray, I might actually have a chance at life, hands raised in celebration. Edit. Not sure how this got the upvotes it did. Thank you guys for being awesome. Phantom Lemons 140D well then you better vote for Yang. Alismer 141D pay my bills. Redacted 141D see a dentist and buy fresh vegetables more often. Some bro dude 141D pay off debt. Then buy a Tesla. Whip Pistol 141D I would eat food based on choice instead of cost. No more sale priced meat and vegetables. I would fix my car so I could get to my classes without being drenched in sweat. I would probably buy a new keyboard since I'm in school for computer science with a focus on software programming, and this one is falling apart after 9 years. Oh, and I would buy clothes so I could have more than one pair of pants and shorts. The rest would go towards tuition so I would owe less when I graduate. Drivian Acid 141D I'd pay off my house hella fast and make renovations. I want new windows, a new furnace and my driveway repaved. I'd also hire landscapers to maintain my yard because I live on the side of a hill and my lawn is hard to mow. Oddly enough, all of those things pump money right back into my local economy. Argento Coxus 141D I would work my job $1,000 a month less and then use that time to 1. Educate myself better and spend more quality time with my children, probably at the same time, to instill a sense of curiosity and wonder in them. 2. Develop a product or service with my new knowledge. 3. Start my own freelance business. 4. Work from home to earn more money and spend more time with my family when they are young. Denixveg 141D this here is the true reason why a UBI is good for society. Emeralden 141D this here. I'd probably see about cutting my work time to 3/10 instead of 4/10 and get more time at home with my girlfriend. Or I'd put that money towards our car, 42k left on it. An extra $2,000 month on top of the $1,500 we're already paying would knock that out pretty quickly. Manti Ice Shrimp 141D I would pay off my student loans so I can start actually feeling like I can have a future. Galzilla 141D Shoes. Fancy, handmade in the USA shoes. Anfinman 141D with an extra 2k a month. Me and my wife would be able to pay off our house, car, and credit card within 5 years. Only debt we would have is our student loans. Besides that, we would practically be living debt-free, cause school payment is low. We did the math. The UBI is not even why I will vote for Yang. It's his democracy dollars and human-centered capitalism policies. Lorado Null 141D I will upload a video of myself eating my own shoes, piece by piece, if he were to actually manage to pull it off. I'm serious. Someone said remind me for this post, and if it happens, hold me to this. Tunager 23141D Alaska does it, but on a much smaller scale. Lorado Null 141D yeah, I'm just saying. If I got that much free a month, I'd be able to afford to get my stomach pumped afterward. And I'd be glad enough that I wouldn't mind how horrible the experience would be. Don't panic. 562,141D pay CC debt. Net 12,141D actually be able to sustain my family. Snow-covered hills 25,141D. It's really simple. For me, I don't need the money. Yes, it will help me pay off loans faster. It will help me save faster. Take some time off of work without worrying about falling behind on bills. In an emergency, it would be a good feeling to have that security behind me. However, all the benefit for me would come from having a stronger community. My good friend opened up a 30-acre vegetable farm 7 years ago. I started helping him out because I thought it was a great thing for our town. But at first he couldn't leave his day job. He would work from 4:30-10 at a lumber mill, then get home and farm from 1030 until sundown. For 2 years he did that. The extra $1K a month for both him and his wife, who was still in school, would have allowed him more time on the farm, and he would have been less mentally and physically exhausted as he did something good for the community. That is where this money will help the most. When people want to transition from school, a job, a bad relationship into something that is actually intrinsically valuable to the community, they can do so without fear of falling into objective poverty and squalor. My brother-in-law wants to leave his HVAC company and start his own small business. But my 3 nephews and 1 niece that he has to provide for makes it a dangerous move. An extra $24K in their household can subsidize wages for a while and allow him enough opportunity to get off the ground without his family struggling to survive. My other sister works in the service industry. That's her main thing on her resume for 14 years now. Transitioning into the job sector, she will take an inevitable pay cut. Bartending, she makes so much in tips. However, the serving lifestyle is chaotic, and as she is moving toward the phase in life where she is looking to settle down and she wants something with benefits and security. Yes, she takes a pay cut to transition to that new job. But as she builds her resume and improves her market value, her wages will rise. In the meantime, the $12K a year will allow breathing room in case of volatility. Now my community just received 2 new small businesses, run by local people who I know and trust. My sister is working a better job for her next stage of life, and I am out of loan debt a bit faster and saving money. That helps a community, and that's why I think it's important. We live in a monetary society. And in a monetary society, the most valuable resource is money because it provides access to all other resources. And access to resources provide time, better mental health, and better outcomes. TLDR. I would keep doing the same thing I am doing, but just get to the end goals faster and enjoy more of life. Also, people in my community around me could do the same, which would lead to better outcomes all around. Old Greg 141D put it all on red. I Keistmic 141D. I would be able to afford laser hair removal, which is necessary for a surgery I'll have to get in a few years anyway. The surgery is covered by insurance, but the prep work isn't. TT4TGRT 141D Pornhub Premium Boy Ice. Pipeman 1,661,141D. This guy gets it. Stormageddon 141D. I'd probably just buy some luxury goods I'd like, but am too stingy to need like new headphones. After that, I'd probably just use it for fancier groceries. Asparagus, pumpkins, better tomatoes, and the like. Tabby Cat Lady 141D. To start with, I'd put an extra $1,000 a month towards my student loans. Once my loans were paid off, which would take a few years, I'd put about half of it toward paying down my mortgage faster, and the other half toward services that would make my life easier or more comfortable. I'd probably get a massage monthly, rather than yearly, and I'd hire a housekeeper to come in and clean every other week. TLDR. Get out of debt, then hire services that increase my free time or enhance my well-being. Rakazat 141D. Donate some to charity. Crimson Galaxy 141D. Live. I'm not saying live comfortably and put a down payment on a yacht, but like, being able to afford mortgage and food and not have to consider selling body parts would be just tops. Maybe I wouldn't want to die all the time, either. I have a college degree, been looking for a living wage job since I graduated in 2011. So far the 2 jobs I've had barely meet minimum wage. I've been looking for something that pays a living wage since 2016. Almost Queen 141D. Could someone please explain to me how this would not cause massive inflation? Andres 905,141D. This is directly from his campaign website. The federal government recently printed $4 trillion for bank bailouts in its quantitative easing program with no inflation. Our plan for UBI uses mostly money already in the economy. In monetary economics, leading theory states that inflation is based on changes in the supply of money. The freedom dividend has minimal changes in the supply of money because it is funded by a value-added tax. It is likely that some companies will increase their prices in response to people having more buying power, and a VAT would also increase prices marginally. However, there will still be competition between firms that will keep prices in check. Over time, technology will continue to decrease the prices of most goods where it is allowed to do so, e.g., clothing, media, consumer electronics, etc. The main inflation we currently experience is in sectors where automation has not been applied due to government regulation or inapplicability, primarily housing, education, and healthcare. The real issue isn't universal basic income, it's whether technology and automation will be allowed to reduce prices in different sectors. Buzios Pig 141D Taxes. Spending prints money. Taxes destroy money. If you print as much as you destroy, it is a wash. It might cause some inflation in heavily contested scarce resources, but the inflation in price, for most people, would be a fraction of the inflation in income. For most people, Hot Wheels Up My Ass 141D Yang has a BA in economics from Brown, and inflation is one of the first things he's thought about. He does not believe inflation is a concern with UBI, and explains why here. Timestamped. https://youtube/87m2hwkzzcw?TechWill637. Dopamine deprivation 141D competition from increased economic activity in local communities is a deflationary. Frankly, prices will go up, especially with VAT. It won't come close to offsetting the $1,000 M. The dividend functions as welfare for no income, anti-regressive tax for low income, tax rebate for middle income, and reminder of citizenship for high-income Americans. At 5% inflation, you would have to spend $240,000 there to consume your dividend. I'm skeptical about funding UBI, but the math checks out for inflation. Infinitesimal 141D reminder of citizenship. I gotta say that's a real nice euphemism you got there. Fuzzera Bebiscuits 141D correction for this interview. UBI is from age 18 until you die. Back at the time of this interview he still had it as ending at 65 years old, but has since updated the policy after realizing how little SS pays. Jerry 73141D get a haircut. I'm wolfing out. Chifjenga 141D pay off my student loan debt way before I'm in my 50s. Approximately the payoff time frame on my current timeline. Save for my future. House. Retirement. X. Have the ability to put more money back into the economy by the $1,000, creating more spendable income in my regular paycheck, therefore allowing me to purchase more items, good, and services, circulating the wealth among many more individuals. My BF and I have talked about this at length. An extra $2K a month would greatly affect our lifestyle in a very positive way. We are both in our early 30s, hold 3 college degrees between us, work 40-week jobs in our preferred fields, have above average credit scores for our age range, and are still finding it difficult to pay for anything that would be deemed frivolous, like entertainment, or just for fun cause we want to things, or unexpected bills like medical or car maintenance, due mostly to our student loan debt and credit card debt we have accrued individually. Mine from car maintenance and medical bills I was unable to afford years ago, and his from a time frame of working contract-only positions after graduating with his master's, causing him to need to survive on credit between finding another contract after one ended. I'm not sure how everything would work, but I get the basic idea of extra money each month for every family will mean welfare programs wouldn't need that funding, therefore the money can be redistributed. I don't know if his plan is possible because, from a reasonable standpoint, the existing programs and the basic income programs would have to exist, even for a short time, at the same time, and I don't know if that is possible, but, just on a what-if basis, it would be life-changing for me. Secaries 141D rent and medication. I have ADHD and can't afford my meds because my insurance is terrible. $100 for the doctor visit, $100 for urine test, $300 for 90 pills. So basically to have my meds I need to pay $500 every 3 months. $1,000 a month would help significantly. Ashorel 141D Jesus, at that price it's worth the risk to buy it online. Thuation 141D I imagine his Medicare for all and prescription drug negotiation would help with that as well. Content not history 141D. Would easily go towards rent and bills. Easy. It's like a week's worth of wages for free. Everyone should get this. It's good for the economy and stops people from going into credit debt hell and worse. The object is to make sure the populace is thriving and able to succeed. Imacabad spaghetti 141D. Pay rent. Buy more fresh produce. Pay my friends for the art they make. Deleted. 141D. Start looking for all the full-time positions that will open up. Because no way in hell a lot of people wouldn't reduce their work hours from the lack of need. And those companies, they'll be spending their $1,000 and the rest of their paycheck at. They're going to need people to man the stores back up. I'll never say no to more money. Right now, I'm sure Costco, Sam's Club and Target will be paying $13.15 starting for dedicated full-timers. And there will be positions available after this. Easy gigs for good pay. And suddenly, vacuums. Tube red to care 141D. Costco already starts over that. Sierra Vixen 141D. Stop having panic attacks about getting yanked around by disability when I have a chronic neurological condition that, while generally mild, relapses into severe episodes randomly and for extended periods of time. My family is cutting me off from support and I'm looking for work, but I'm low-key terrified that I'll get a few weeks in and turn into a potato clock for 4 months again. ETP 445,141D. https://yang2020.com for anyone wanting to read more. Hauntlich 140D. $1,000 more a month would literally save my life. I might be able to look at affording a home and healthcare, instead of one, or neither. DM Slider 140D. Pay off my debt and actually start saving money. I moved out from a toxic environment, so now I have all these bills, rent, and tuition to pay. I work full-time and but still net zero profit even though I cook all of my meals and stay home and play free video games as my entertainment. I'm one of the 70% of Americans who live paycheck to paycheck, and things like Bernie's $15 minimum wage or federal jobs guarantee will never help me. I always really wanted to have kids because I want to be the parent I never had growing up. Given my financial state and the state of the country, I decided to just not have kids at all, but Andrew Yang and his policies give me hope that I could have the financial security to have kids in a country that loves its citizens, is human-centered, and has clean air and clean water. Lion Hills 141D. 1,000 cups of coffee. Like Fry. D. O.R. Gordon Savior 140D. As a transgender person living in the South, I would finally escape my geographical prison. This $1,000 a month would make it to where I wouldn't be as worried about long-term unemployment, and his other policies would bring down my cost of my medicines. Currently, a 3-month supply cost me $500 and it will increase as dosage does. I wish he would pick me for the experiment, because I would finally feel like my life had hope. Catrogen 140D. I personally hope that this experiment will be a reality if Yang wins. Then everyone would benefit from an extra $1,000/month. Not only 10 people, but I'm happy he's doing this now to show what a difference 1,000 can make. O.R. Gordon Savior 140D. I definitely hope Yang wins LOL. I'm an odd Yanganger, new Reddit account, and have been on the hype train since the first article about him. Freedom 1,015,141D. I'd probably spend about $1K on a new bass guitar. The rest would go towards knocking down debt. Isla Kedragon 141D. Be able to afford my medicine and doctor's appointment. Oblivibit 140D. I would take a risk and change careers to something that I would enjoy and actually be productive at instead of just procrastinating all day. Manual Squid 141D. Let's just say my Mustang would be nice as fuck. Anadrax 141D. Buy more fresh fruits, vegetables and meats. Swift Cross 140D. Use it for college. Use it for food. Me Beckford 140D. I would 1. Fix my teeth. 2. Pay off my school and medical debt. 3. Buy a Prius. 4. Be better able to afford training my service dog. In training, SDI, which I can't even really afford now. I just make it a priority and suffer more in other areas. Living 4th Eliquid 141D. Some dance classes for my kid. On my business. Some Korean Husky 141D. Quit my part-time job to focus more on studies extracurriculars. Jess 13,141D. Guess who's living rent-free now? Mary Dankmas 141D. Finally be able to move the fuck out moderately comfortably. I make about $2K $3K per month depending on season. I bartended. Sure, I can live on my own right now, but money would be extremely tight, especially where I live. pretty wealthy area. An extra $1K per month would go miles for me. Bust a move 13,141D. Either put it towards my mortgage or put half in savings and half in my retirement plan. Our Wall Street butts get my teeth fixed.
If you enjoyed this video, please smash the like button below and subscribe to my channel for future videos. Thanks for watching.